All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your minds to be electrified and your neural pathways to set ablaze as I delve into the world of dopamine, a neurotransmitter that is responsible for and is the key to motivation, pleasure, addiction, and the essence of what it is to be a human. For Toastmaster this morning, how many of you probably had a cup of coffee right before you got here? Maybe even listened to some music on the way here, right? See, without dopamine, that music that you listened to, or a cup of coffee you had, wouldn't have tasted so delicious, or that music wouldn't have resonated with you or felt so good. See, dopamine, I feel, is so essential. You know, even though our mind and body are complex systems, molecular in size, dopamine plays a huge role within our bodies. The absence of this chemical within our bodies would prove futile in our existence. Now, I'm no neuroscientist, so I just find the topic of psychology, the mind and body, to be so interesting. So today I want to talk about what is dopamine today, how dopamine can affect our behavior, the dark side of dopamine, and how we can use it in our favor. So what is dopamine? Put simply, it is the feel-good chemical of the body. Put scientifically, it's a neurotransmitter that is responsible for transmitting messages across the body. So other neurotransmitters you may have heard of, serotonin, that is responsible for mood, hunger and appetite, and as well as your sleep. And that's controlled by antidepressants and can help regulate that. Another popular one is epinephrine, also known as adrenaline. So that is your fight or flight response pheromone that is released within the sense of danger. How dopamine affects our behavior, this is where I find dopamine to be most interesting. Dopamine's role in the body is for the reward system. Since birth, dopamine has held our hand and taught us right from wrong, learning how to go about our behaviors from a young age, adapting to change in our environments, and also reinforcing behaviors that help us in the form of a reward. Like a surge of dopamine for a rat hitting the pedal for more food. It's like me going to Olive Garden and getting their basket of breadsticks. See more and more. So where you can see that might be great, you know, more breadsticks, but there's also that dark side of dopamine, right? You know, eating desserts in moderation, not so dangerous, right? Addictions of unhealthy substances like drugs and alcohol can prove detrimental. The difference between desserts and, for example, like heroin is desserts, although minimal in spike of dopamine in short duration, heroin has such a large spike, such a longer duration that the issue with that is we try to maintain that spike, and that's where addiction comes from. The ramifications for that can be financial, can be social with your relationships with your family and friends, can leave us physically unhealthy and as well as mentally. So with that being said, how can we use dopamine in our favor? I believe there's a direct correlation between somebody's success and somebody's ability to control dopamine. So here's one tactic that I've used to help reduce or control my dopamine reward system. It is called dopamine stacking, reducing what is called dopamine stacking. What that is when you take a event or task you have to do, and then you stack other high dopamine activities on top of that. For example, I like to go to the gym a lot, and after a good workout, I feel great afterwards. You know that feeling when I put in a lot of good work, you feel that gratitude. The issue with that is if you stacked, let's just say, caffeine or music just to get you through that workout, it spikes your dopamine way above baseline. And what happens is after you come off of that workout, you crash, you feel unmotivated, you feel like you don't really want to pursue the next thing in the day, maybe. And so what I encourage is you don't approach tasks and you don't approach certain things with clutches like caffeine or maybe some music. Try doing it maybe just on will alone. So reducing the effort with that can help you get into difficult tasks more easily, make you feel even enjoyable or even frictionless. So to wrap that up, today I talked about dopamine, what it is, how dopamine affects our behavior, the dark side of dopamine, and how can we use dopamine in our favor. I encourage all of you today to practice maintaining a higher baseline of level of dopamine in your lives. Doing so will help you feel better day to day on average. There's lots of information about dopamine out there. I'm just scratching the surface on that. And I hope you found the importance about dopamine today. And now I hope you all can go on and start feeling good.